So we are starting off this week on absolute fire. G-Roar is consistently crushing it every single morning trading session. Once again, we ended up buying SPY put options directly at the market open. And in this situation, we ended up averaging our cost down, making multiple 100% profit returns. And then in terms of the trade after that, we did SPX put options towards the middle of the day, making multiple 100% profit returns. In terms of my own personal trading, the first trade that I made on the day was nearly a 50% profit return, and I trimmed the position towards the exact peak perfectly, and then I set profit stops on the overall trade. I ended up buying SPY call options towards the exact level that I mentioned in the title of last night's video, 604. I noticed that that 30-minute candlestick pattern that I've been teaching you throughout these videos had occurred at the best level to buy call options when it retested the lows. So I used the overall strategy, made a 50% profit return on calls. I'm going to be breaking down the trades towards the end of this video. Let's get straight into the newly updated price action analysis. If you're serious about making money, make sure you stay till the end. This is going to be great analysis, preparing you to trade the best setups at the best possible prices heading into tomorrow. So I am currently seeing two patterns that can play out. Reviewing the 10-day 30-minute chart on the SPY, I'm going to walk you through this. So in terms of the first pattern that I'm seeing, this is what I want you to understand, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to look at November 27th. So in terms of November 27th, this is what I wanted to bring awareness to. As you can see right here, the SPY has a small move up in the pre-market. As you can see right here, the SPY has a small move up in the pre-market. Then we have this bearish downtrend. Right? So we're comparing November 27th to today. And then you could see the SPY starts to recover. Now, if we are gapping up, so if you look at the next day, the SPY is starting to gap up. If we are gapping up and holding above 603.50, that is going to be the key level of interest to buy the dip heading into tomorrow. The overall range would be the previous closing price, 602.80 to 603.50. But the main level in terms of the bulls to take control, what we're going to need to see tomorrow for the bulls to show up and take control, we need to see a gap up and we need to see 603.50 react as the support level. If you are seeing that floor form, heading into the market open, right? So you can see right here, this is exactly what I'm looking at. We've simply identified a previous resistance level heading back to November 27th. The SPY gaps up, drops back down, break and retest, turns that previous resistance into support. If you're seeing that overall floor, you're going to want to be buying the dip towards market open or wait for the first 30-minute candlestick confirmation. As long as we're holding above 603.50, the SPY is going to try to break above the pre-market highs. So if you're seeing pre-market resistance above like 604 in the pre-market, and then we drop back down to 603.50 and react to support, as long as we're staying above 603.50, the SPY is going to try to have a strong bullish move, right? Like it did on November 27th. So that's what you're looking for in terms of the bullish scenario. Now, in terms of the bearish pattern that I'm seeing that can play out, let me walk you through this. So in terms of this overall pattern, this is very, very simple. As you can see right here, the SPY has this small move up. Then we drop back down. We form some overall support right here. And then that previous support reacts as a resistance, right? So in terms of where that previous support reacts as a resistance level, it's going to be towards like 603. I mean, in a sense, you could say 603.50 as well. But if you're seeing a gap down, or if you're just seeing in general 602 breaking down, we're going under 602 and we're just maintaining below 603, then the SPY is going to try to have an overall bearish day in that situation, right? So if we're maintaining under 602 like 50, we're dropping below 602, we're starting to react as a resistance, form lower highs, or we're gapping down in that sense, right? The SPY is going to start to drop to the next support level, and it's going to try to have that bearish overall day to 601. We can bounce at 601, keep an eye on that level for a short-term scalp if you're seeing bullish confirmations. And then if we go under 601, we're going to 598.80 to fill the gap, which would be the best level to buy call options for the gap close reversal on an overall bearish trend day situation where the SPY can reverse and have a bullish gap close reversal. So that's the patterns that I'm seeing based off the daily, based off the 10-day, based off the overall 30-minute chart, right? Looking at November 27th for the bullish thesis, and then looking at the past 2 days for the overall potential bearish thesis, right? For those bulls to really show up, 603.50, we need to gap up, turn that into support, and then we need to push above 604. Break above 604, this previous support, this previous lower highs, break above that, react to support. We're going to a bullish move to 606 to 606.50, right? And then in terms of the bears, man, just stay under 603, crack 602.50. As long as we're standing under 602.50, 601 to 598, dropping bearish, starting to go back down to fill the gap below, man, right? So just put this into perspective. Look at this right here. You see the overall crunch in support. You see the overall crunch in support, right? If the SPY breaks above that resistance, the resistance is right here at 603.50, reacting as support, strong bullish breakout. Measure the move, 2 to 3 point breakout, right? But if you're seeing the SPY crack under this support, 603, we're dropping to 602.50, we're breaking down, we're maintaining under 603, we're forming resistance. Wait for it to spike back up, let it flush first, let it crack through the support first, let it crack through the support first, let it spike back up, form the lower highs, buy the puts, ride it back down. So fucking simple, man. This is the most simple game plan. I'm telling you, tomorrow's going to be an easy day to make money, man. Everybody should be green tomorrow. If you use that information I just gave you, you should be green. Losing should be a personal choice. Now, in terms of the trades, we're going to quickly get into the trades here, man. I'm telling you, this game plan, you use this game plan, you should be making money heading into tomorrow, man. That level I gave you for calls, that 604 level, it was literally the exact lows in the morning. And then we had another low of day retest to 605. There was 2 opportunities to buy calls at that 604 level. The level I told you where you can dip buy and make money scalping call options, man. There was 2 opportunities to do it. I took advantage of the retest because I don't like trading at market open. I like to wait for confirmation. But there was 2 opportunities to literally fucking buy calls at 604 before we dropped lower. So in terms of scalping, those were great overall opportunities. I'm going to be walking you through the trades. So in terms of the trades inside of Team Roar, you guys are well aware, this is like the only fucking service on the planet where you're going to see bar out of the money option contracts where we're selling deep in the money for the biggest percentage gains. And literally every single morning, the trades are green. It's fucking crazy, man. The green streak is unfucking stoppable in the morning. These are the best morning trades you're ever going to see in the fucking market where you can walk away for the entire day, sell deep in the money, man. So take a look at this. As you can see right here, the first trade, just like I had explained to you yesterday, we did the same exact thing. So we ended up buying puts. We ended up buying 604 SPY puts at 63 cents a contract. In this particular situation, we ended up averaging our cost down, which is something that we don't like to do. In terms of what works best for our format, we like to add to the winners. In terms of when we're down, if anything, we believe in the play. In certain situations, we'll just buy a new strike. If it makes sense, we'll add to it. But we like to focus on adding to the winners and, setting the profit stops and increasing the winning. But we ended up adding, in the mid 30 cent range, right? Averaging our cost down right there. So, if you're getting in at 63 cents and you're adding at 37 cents, your average should be towards that like 50 cent range, low 50 cent range, depending on how you're sizing, right? But with that being said, that was a phenomenal trade. As you can see right here, if we go to the 604 puts, I'm going to walk you through this. At 9:55 a.m., this is exactly where we ended up getting in. And then we were adding in the low 30s towards the lows. We're not setting stop losses. They dropped all the way to 18 cents. But in terms of the contracts, they went from 180. So your overall average could have been 50 cents to nearly 200 a contract. That's a 300% plus profit return, right? So that was a phenomenal trade. And the vast majority of the members held the trade and sell in the money. So what we do differently is we don't use stop losses. And in terms of how this works in a sense is the goal is to sell in the money and we're buying further out of the money. And when we're green, we set profit stops to ensure we don't go green to red, right? So even if we're not selling in the money and we get stopped out for profit before the trade goes in the money, we could still make very nice gains, right? So if the trade works out and we get profit stopped out, or if we sell in the money, then it works. And if it doesn't work out and we choose not to sell, the trade goes to zero, the contracts expire worthless. The trade works out the vast majority of the time because we are trading the overall trend. If you trade the trend, you don't have to time the trade perfectly. As long as the contracts are going in the money and you're holding for several hours, even with the theta decay, you're still going to be able to make bank with this situation. And then at times we add to the trades as well. So, that was a phenomenal trade on SPY put options. I'm telling you, if you just look at all of our fucking trades, man, they tend to go in the money, man. It's just fucking crazy. You got to hold the trades. Now, in terms of the second trade, I'm going to walk you through this. We ended up buying a 6040, and you could see, everything's in real time. Hold 604 went in the money, hold, set the profit stops, add. I mean, you get what I'm saying, man. We had so many fucking wins. Look at this, man. I'm going to walk you through this. So let me get into the next one here. So in terms of the next one, we had 6040 SPX puts for 135 a contract, right? So I'm going to walk you through this SPX 6040 puts for 135 a contract at 2:08 p.m. So we're going to go to 2:08 p.m. You're going to see we bought towards the lows. The low was at 45 cents. They quickly went to 150. We got in right here at 2:08 p.m. They went from 150 all the way to $1,000 a contract. Do you understand how many trades that GROAR has alerted throughout the past week that have gone up over 1,000%, that have gone far the money to deep in the fucking money? This is insane, man. There's nothing like this, man. You hold, you sell in the money, you set profit stops, right? You set profit stops. If it has a big move against you, you get stopped out for profit. And you can leave runners and you can hold those runners to sell deep in the money, right? So with that being said, that's two massive fucking wins in a row. And like I said, man, everything is alerted in real time to hold. You guys are well aware, we like to sell deep in the money, but we protect our profits and we protect ourselves within the market by setting profit stops. And you leave runners and you hold those runners and you sell those runners deep in the money. So that is two massive wins on SPY and SPX puts, man. You're not going to find any consistency out there like this within the market, man. It's fucking crazy in terms of what's happening. Now, in terms of my trade, I'm going to walk you through this. So in terms of my own personal trading, the first trade that I made today had to do with my game plan. You guys are well aware in terms of the game plan, I was targeting two levels for call options. I was targeting 605, break and retest at the resistance, and I was targeting 603.50 support. In terms of the title of the video, I titled it 604. That was going to be the main level where I wanted to buy call options in terms of the oversold level. So if you go to the SPY at 12:02 p.m., you're going to see, I'm going to walk you through this. I'm going to show you exactly how I was able to do this. So in terms of the reasonings behind the calls, I had a profit target of 606.50. The SPY ended up bottoming at that range I gave you. The level was towards 603.50 to 604 zone. It ended up having a massive move, nearly hitting the profit target, and then it sold off once it nearly hit the profit target. So once I noticed that it dropped back down towards the previous day lows and we still didn't hit that profit target, that right there was a temptation to want to get back in and buy calls. We're retesting the lows and we haven't hit the profit target yet. So there's still potential to hit that overall profit target, right? So that right there, in terms of the foundation, along with what I explained to you in last night's video, was the reasoning behind that. Now, in terms of the confirmation, because I already have the level and zone, I explained it to you in last night's video. I'm not going to go over it again. So just go back and watch last night's video if you want to understand the foundation behind the key level. But in terms of the confirmation, it was this 30-minute pattern. So I'm going to walk you through this, man. This pattern has rarely ever failed me. When I see this pattern form, right? So you can see I call all this out 100% in real time. This is the pattern right here. So this is a trend reversal pattern. For those of you who watch the content, you're well aware I've been using this pattern. It's been occurring basically every single week. It's literally been occurring nonstop. You use this 30-minute candlestick pattern at the key levels to buy call options. So what you're looking for is you're looking for a 30-minute candlestick facing to the red, 30-minute candlestick facing to the red. You see how it's facing to the downside, facing to the downside, facing to the downside. And then the next 30-minute candlestick facing to the upside, facing to the upside, facing to the upside. You see how that's identical, right? And again, this 30-minute candle right here, this hour pattern right here, it doesn't have to be red. It could be green. You don't have to color code it in this situation. You're looking for 30-minute facing to the downside, 30-minute facing to the upside. The next 30-minute candlestick is supposed to be bullish. So when you see this 1 hour pattern right here that I highlighted for you, when you see this pattern close like this, it's a 1 hour pattern. The opening of the next 30 minutes, it's supposed to have a strong bullish 30-minute close where it's going to try to either retest the high of this 30-minute candlestick and potentially the high of this 30-minute candlestick, the high of this 30-minute candlestick, and potentially the high of this 30-minute candlestick. So in terms of the trick to this, the true best entry would be towards the previous 30-minute lows because it can potentially top at the previous 30-minute highs. And if it's opening up towards the previous 30-minute highs, you can potentially be in and not the best entry. So in this sense, you kind of want to break it down with the 1 minute and the 5-minute chart, give it some time, give it some time to let it play out a little bit. And like I said, the best entry possible would be a dip towards the previous 30-minute lows. And then what's supposed to happen is it's supposed to close strong and bullish, breaking above the previous 30-minute highs. In some situations, it goes back to the high of this, goes back to the high of this, goes back to the high of this. The point is, this is supposed to be a 30-minute green candlestick. So when the 30 minutes opens up and it looks red and bearish, you're buying calls. And when it keeps on dropping and reacting bearish, you're scaling into calls. And like I said, if you want the best entry possible, you might miss out. That's the disadvantage of aiming for the best entry in this situation because it could bottom higher. It's the previous 30-minute lows. But don't nickel and diamond, man. Just kind of scale into it, and then it gets more advanced in terms of figuring out what's going to go back to the previous 30-minute lows, right? It does get more advanced in terms of like waiting, 1 minute and 5-minute confirmations, but I'm just teaching you some of the basics. So when I saw this pattern formed and I noticed we were at my key level to buy calls at 604, it made clear sense for me to buy calls. And in terms of the profit target, like I said, the first profit target would be towards the previous 30-minute highs, 604.70. The next profit target would be towards 605, right? Those are the profit targets towards those previous 30-minute highs of that 1 hour pattern, right? So in terms of this trade, you can tell I was extremely fucking confident, man. Like, I bought these 605 calls at 32 cents a contract at 12:02 p.m. This was the first one that I made on the day. If you go to 12:02 p.m., you're going to see I was in towards the exact lows. I bought the calls right here, right? And then I ended up adding right here at the exact lows, a 26 cents, 28 cent range. And then we sold and we trimmed the exact peak. They went to 47 cents. We're talking about a 50% plus profit return. If you bought at the lows, we're looking at 90%, nearly 100% there, right? So that was my first trade on the day. I waited till 12 p.m. for my key level to retest and for a 1 hour, 30-minute confirmation that I've been using consistently within the market to make money. If you go back and you watch all the videos, you're going to see me talking about this same pattern. It works. It's something I've figured out in terms of trading, and this pattern works. So I'm going to keep on using it, but you have to apply the patterns with the confirmation, with the foundation at the key level, man. So, I made it very, very clear. This is the best setup to be buying calls, and this was my first trade on the day. Before this, we were already in on puts twice for massive wins, and people were holding for the big wins. This was a scalp against the overall trend using the game plan that I provided in last night's video. The puts were with the overall trend. Everyone was holding puts. If you want to make a quick scalp against it, well, this was a 50% to potential 100% profit return. Added at 28 cents, added at 28 cents. And then you could see, man, you could just tell like the confidence is there. When it's usually there like this, it tends to play out the vast majority of the time. Adding at the lows, added at 26 cents. I went extremely fucking heavy on this play. I even made it clear, this is something I rarely do as well in terms of my trades. I made it clear that I was in heavy. If you go to the alert, you're going to see right here, 605, that I was in heavy, right? So I was extremely confident in this, right? So when I trimmed the peak and we set profit stops, I made it very, very clear, we already had 3 potential like massive wins on the day. So from there, I told everyone, like, if I make another trade, I'm going to be sizing in lighter and I'm not going to be risking going green to red no matter what the fuck I do, which is exactly what I did. And, the trades that I made after that, just like yesterday during the power hour trading session, they were not green. But G-Roar, he absolutely crushed it, man. G-Roar's been on an absolute fucking tear. It's crazy what he's been doing. But I wanted to recap, that trade for you and show you from an educational point of view in terms of confirmation that I was using. But like I said, man, we crushed it. And this was played and called out perfectly. Like I said, I literally trimmed the exact peak. If you go to the alert right here, you're going to see at 12:35 p.m. I literally trimmed the exact peak, and I told everyone set profit stops. And then from there, like I said, in terms of my next trades after that, I'm not going to be risking as much. I'm going to make sure that I don't flip green to red. So that was the overall day. And then, like I said, during the power hour trading session, I did have, two L's on calls, right? Like yesterday. But anyways, losing was a personal choice. Today was a phenomenal day. Today was a fantastic day, man. Look, if you're serious about making money, it is the first link down below within the description. We are known for buying cheap, low risk, borrowed money option contracts. We're known for selling them deep in the money for the biggest percentage gains within the market. We have the highest win rate in the game doing this. You're going to see multiple trades a day, multiple 100% profit returns every single month. We have realized 1,000% plus gains 3 times a month. And then we have many trades, or if you just hold runners, you're going to see, man, there's so many fucking trades we make that go up 1,000, 2,000, 3,000% every single month from our entries in terms of like where we actually sell. 3 times a month, we have 3 trades where we actually sell for 1,000% profit returns, right? So if you have a 1,000% gain and you're sizing in accordingly, that means you could have 18, 15, you can have 18 50% losses in a row and still be net positive up 100% profit return. So in terms of the system that we optimize for something where you could be extremely successful with a very low win rate, which is what any professional trader should optimize for. A foundation that allows them to be successful with a low win rate. Once you have a strong foundation, something cheap, something low risk, something you could trade multiple trades a day with a cash account. Do not use margin account, right? Something where you could be extremely profitable with a low win rate. Once you have that strong foundation, you can grow and you can build off of that, man. And we have the highest win rate in the game doing this. That's just being the best. That's just the icing on the cake. We don't need a high win rate in this game with Risk Management 101 and in terms of the foundation that we have and created, right? Just to give you some more background to the overall system, we do not set stop losses. When you buy a far out of the money option contract, if you don't time it near perfect, it can quickly drop 30 to 50%. We have many trades that have gone down at times, 70, 80, 90%, and we choose to hold. When we choose to hold and not sell for a loss, again, we never use stop losses. Sometimes we will sell for a loss if it doesn't make sense to hold. Best majority of the times, we do hold. And what we're doing is when we are up on the trade, like 10, 20%, we set a profit stop. We don't like adding to losers, but when we're up a little bit, we like to protect our wins. So we set the profit stops in case the market has to move against us. We can always get back in on the trade. No big deal. And we do like to increase our wins by adding to the winners. We add to the wins to ensure that it's going to increase our winnings. And we set the profit stop to ensure that we don't go green to red, right? So we're removing the stop loss. You take off the stop loss, you stop losing, right? You add the profit stop, you start taking profits, right? Green to red is a choice. Losing is a choice when you buy an option that's far out of the money and you hold it for the entire day. And when you're green, you set a profit stop. Green to red is a choice. And you hold it as well and you sell it in the money. That's what we're doing. So when the trade doesn't work out, we're not getting stopped out. We let it expire worthless. We let it go to zero. And in terms of managing our risk, most you're going to want to put into these trades is your max risk per trade, which is something you can do because the contracts are so cheap, so low risk. You don't have to buy a lot of contracts to make good money. Let the massive percentage gains do the work for you. Let the percentage gains grow your money for you. Don't let your money grow your money. Let the percentage gains do the fucking work. If you let the percentage gains do the work for you, you're not risking much money. The more you put in, the more you risk. Most traders haven't figured this out, man. You have to hold the trades. Most people don't hold and they don't know how to trade. They size in heavy, they sell quick, and they use a stop loss. That is why they will always win small. They will always lose and get stopped out, and they will never be able to hold for a big win. The stock market provides us with very lucrative opportunities where it makes sense to hold the trade because of the measured move, the profit target zones, right? But traders aren't holding trades because they are trading the wrong asset classes. They are sizing in too big. They are setting stop losses. If you buy far out of the money option contracts, you can hold them for the entire day to sell in the money. If it doesn't work out, the most you lose is what you put in. So listen, man, we're doing the complete opposite of what everybody is doing. If you're serious about making money and you're serious about learning and experiencing a new trading alert system, you want to trade alongside our community and get access to this trade alert system, is the first link down below in the description. We've actually created a system that makes people money. And you're going to learn a lot about trading by following along with the system and by being surrounded within our community, right? We have multimillionaires within our community. So it's the first link down below in the description if you want to trade alongside us and experience this. Very, very cheap, very, very low risk. You can sell deep in the money, make the biggest percentage gains in the market. If the trade doesn't work out and we're down 50%, we either cut the play or just let it expire worthless, man. Whenever we decide to hold the dead play when it's down 50%, 70% of the times, the trade comes back to life, goes in the money, and we sell for fucking wins when we choose to hold that trade, man. You've seen it, man. As long as we're trading the trend and we're down like 60, 70, 80, 90%, it comes back to life and it goes in the money. You're going to see the vast majority of the time, we time our trades very well, but we're also known for holding our trades very, very long. So whether we time them right or wrong, we're still going to make massive fucking gains because we're holding the overall trades to sell in the fucking money, man. So you're just going to see, man, this is something different. This is fucking insane in terms of what's going on. You really have to ask yourself, man, who do you know is doing this every single day, man? We're talking every single day, man. The trades that G-War's been calling out, it's fucking crazy, man. 6040 puts, 2:08 p.m. We go to 2:08 p.m., 6040 SPX puts. Look at this. As soon as we get in the puts, $150 to $1,000. You see the potential? This is happening every single day in the option market. And we're calling the trend. We're calling the best fucking trade you're ever going to fucking see, right? You do have to take some accountability and some responsibility in terms of the system on where you decide to exit. That's part of trading and learning to become a better trader. At the end of the day, we're going to give you the best entries possible. And at times, we'll tell you when to set the profit stops, and we'll be sharing our exit the vast majority of the times. But you do have to take some accountability for yourself in terms of where you want to exit, man. You'll learn along the way, right? You'll gain experience. But like I said, when you're green, set profit stops. At times, we add to winners and leave some runners to sell in the fucking money, man. Because these fucking plays, dude, 100 to fucking 1,000. Where are you gonna be able to risk $100 to make $1,000 with one fucking contract, man? That's the beauty of SP fucking X. It's the highest profit potential. This has been happening every single fucking day, man. These are the highest risk to reward ratio trades you're ever gonna see. 604 puts for 63 cents a contract, man, at 9:55 a.m. Do you see the profit potential? 60 cents a contract. They went all the way down to 16 cents and they went to 185. Would you risk 60 cents a contract to be able to sell for a 200% profit return? I don't give a shit if the trade drops 90%. If I'm able to make 200%, I'm going with it. We're trading the trend. Do you understand? These dipshits who are saying, oh, this is all luck, the trade dropped 90%. We do not set stop losses. We trade the trend. If the trade doesn't work out, we let it go to zero, it expires worthless. If the trade is working out and we're green, we set the profit stop, we hold runners, we sell deep in the money. You understand? We're playing a different game. We're not playing the stop loss game. We're playing the hold in the money game, buy farther out. If we're wrong about the trend, we cut the play if we're down 50%, or we just cut the play, let it expire worthless, go to zero. Like I said, sometimes we cut the loss. Vast majority of times, we're holding. Holding is part of the system. In order to hold a trade, you need to remove your stop loss and you need to size less. We're doing the complete opposite. This is the best way to trade the trend and to risk very, very little trading the trend and to make the biggest percentage gains trading the trend within the market. So again, this is a very disruptive system. We have tons and tons of members inside of Team Roar. We have many members who've now been with us for over a year. They are not leaving. They're still inside of Team Roar, man, because they understand this works. They've figured the format out for them. Some of them are making $500 a day. Some of them are making $1,000 a day. Some of them are making 5 figures a week. We have some members making 6 figures a month. Do you understand? Pay less, risk less, make the biggest percentage gains in the fucking market. That's what rich people prefer to do. They prefer to hold their trades, risk less money. Look, man, to be the best, this is what you got to fucking do, man. We hold the trades. We sell deep in the money. We risk less. We're able to make bigger gains than people who are risking more because we're holding for bigger fucking wins and we're adding to the fucking winners. And we're able to remove the stop loss. This is a very strategic system, man. I mean, where are you going to be able to enter a trade at 60 cents, not be stressed if it goes all the way down to 16 cents? You know, you're down what, 70, 80, 90%, right? Not be stressed out. Hold the trade with the mindset, if I'm right about the trend, I'm going to be able to sell for at least 100% plus profit return if it goes in the fucking money, right? And then if we're still bullish on the overall trade, we'll buy a different strike and we'll hold both the strikes. And the second strike will be at a much greater entry and it'll be timed a lot better instead of adding to that fucking loser. And then when the trades are green, we add to the winners, we set the profits up, so we sell the money. Do you understand? We're doing the complete opposite of what all of you are doing, of what anyone who's not in Team Roy, we're doing the complete opposite of all of them, man. So this is how we're able to win, by trading the trend, by not using stop losses, by holding the fucking trades, by risking less, by putting ourselves in the highest risk to reward ratio trades. If you are serious about experiencing this, I'm telling you, you ain't going to see any trades out there in terms of the market with this upside potential. It's the biggest upside potential. And like I said, if we're down a lot of play, if we're down a lot percentage-wise on a play and we still believe in it, not only do we hold, we buy a second strike. Remember the strikes on Tesla we fucking bought, right? So again, we're trading the trend. If the trend's with us, we make massive fucking gains. If the trend's not with us, then the trade expires and goes to worthless, and we lose our max risk per trade. Just as any other trader loses their max risk per trade, except for with us, we're trading the trend, highest risk to reward, biggest percentage gains, cheap, low risk, no stop loss. We do the complete opposite of what everyone else is doing. This is going to keep on happening every single fucking day. We are right about the trend over 90% of the fucking times. Meaning, if you just held the fucking trade, you can literally set profit stops when you're green, leave runners, and sell in the fucking money. You're going to see that happen all the time. You're going to be like, dude, this trade just dropped 90%. Now I'm up 100%. And they bought a second fucking strike. And the second strike was towards the lows, and they're up 1,000 fucking percent. Do you understand? Look, man, look at this. You understand everything I just said? It's all going to keep on happening. This is new. There's nothing else like this on the fucking market. Do you understand? We have a different style of trading that people don't understand. I looked at the comments. I rarely look at comments. I looked at some of the comments. I'm like, dude, these people don't understand the system. They don't understand. We're trading the trend. We're holding. We're selling deep in the money. We're not using stop loss. They don't fucking get it. I get it, man. All of you have been taught the wrong way to trade. It's okay. You've been taught to buy. You've been taught to sell. You need to stop loss, right? But you need to start rewiring your fucking brain and learn something new. This is the new fucking wave, man, in terms of like what I'm showing you. Look, man, 604 SPY puts, 63 cents, right? And we even added to the fucking loser. But if you just look at the potential here, we're in towards the exact peak. It goes all the way down to 16 cents. No fucking stop loss. In this situation, we average our cost down. But what I tell you, the second trade, if we still believe in the trend, is going to be 100 times fucking better, right? So if you just look at the second fucking trade, and on this trade, you should have been sized in more. And the beauty of the second trade was it was on SPX. So in a sense, you're paying more. So technically you are sized more. 135 cents, 6040. Same side puts, just with SPX, you're paying double the fucking price on this one, right? From the average 35 cents. I mean, you're paying like fucking quintuple. But, you know, look at this. You see how the second trade is 100 times fucking better? And they both explode and go in the money? This is the same shit that happened on fucking Tesla. Don't you remember, man? So that second trade with the trend is going to be 100 times fucking better, which is why you should size in a little bit bigger on that second trade if the first one is down a fuck ton instead of adding to it. So I wanted to share that with you. We're trading the trend. We're holding. We're selling deep in the money, right? Obviously, the percentage gain is going to be a lot more fucking explosive on that second fucking strike. So you see, instead of like adding to that loser, even though we did add to the loser, right? You just see the potential on that second fucking strike, man. And the point is, both will go in the money, man. So if you're serious about making money, if you're serious about trying this new trading alert system, it is the first link down below within the description. With that being said, I will see you guys within the chat tomorrow.